Alright guys, we are 5 days removed since the release of Assassin's Creed Shadows, a game that if you just believed what the media was telling you, is the greatest thing since sliced bread. It's gonna sell millions and millions of copies, and it's the only thing that anybody can talk about right now. Apparently it's like the best game of all time. Despite that, we don't even know how many copies it sold. And we still aren't gonna know how many copies it sold by the time this video releases either tonight or tomorrow, because they just don't want to tell you. So this article from IGN kind of paints the perfect picture, right, if you will. It says, don't compare Assassin's Creed Shadows launch to the perfect storm that Valhalla benefited from. Ubisoft internal email says, compare it to Origins, Odyssey, and Mirage. And then a little subtext below it says, we still don't have a sales figure. That's kind of like the icing on the cake in this entire scenario. Because obviously Steam numbers alone don't tell us everything. As you can see from the Assassin's Creed Steam numbers here, 22,000 currently playing the game, 80% positive reviews, 24-hour peak of 40,000, all-time peak of 64,000 earlier this weekend. So not a whole lot to go off of. We don't know the console numbers. All we know is that the media keeps saying 2 million people have played the game. It's going to hit 6 million players soon, blah, 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 blah. We don't have actual legitimate numbers. However, something that I found interesting was an article that came out from PC Gamer that said Assassin's Creed Shadows is a hit, and Steam played a significant role in that. 27% of activations were on PC, and it's the second biggest Assassin's Creed launch of all time. Very interesting that they say launch again, because they want to sell the idea that there's all these people playing it, and that means copies have sold, which means that Ubisoft is making money hand over fist. That's the idea that they're trying to pitch. They want you to truly believe that. Except there's a problem with that. Just using the Steam numbers again, and I know, yes, Ubisoft Plus, console numbers, none of that's taken into account. Okay. Let's just base it on this whole idea that there's 27% of people playing the game on PC, and now we actually have some Steam numbers that have been released to the media, and this article from PC Games End that I talked about last night on my live stream paints a very interesting picture. It says Assassin's Creed Shadows Steam sales also pale in comparison to some of 2025's true mega hits so far. 3 days after launch, Shadows has apparently sold 310,000 copies. In a similar time frame, Split Fiction shifted 882,500 units on Steam, and the gargantuan Monster Hunter Wilds sold almost 10 times better than Shadows with 3.7 million units. Okay, so we know 27% of people played or activated. Remember, the term activated is how they're using it. They're not saying bought the game, they're saying activations, which again means you got a key for free, whatever, and you activated your account. So 310,000 copies on Steam, 27% of players are on PC. So I did the math on this. I'm like, all right, 27% of activations for Assassin's Creed Shadows were on PC. Let's assume the majority were through Steam. So around 20% or so of all Shadows quote-unquote activations were through Steam, where reports are indicating that they sold just over 300,000 copies. This would mean that total activations, again, they choose not to use the word sales for some reason, are somewhere in the ballpark of 1.5 million. If this is just activations, not actual sales, it's likely Shadows hasn't even hit 1 million copies sold yet. And given the fact that we haven't seen any articles saying 1 million sales, it's not surprising. It would not shock me if they haven't sold 1 million copies of this game yet. Screen Rant is even coming out 3 hours ago saying Assassin's Creed Shadows reported sales success is not enough to save Ubisoft, although I went through the article, I kind of skimmed it. Didn't see anywhere where they report numbers. The only numbers that I've seen reported are these Steam sales from sites like PC Games End. So that being said, there is no denying that there has been a little upswing for Ubisoft since the game released, right? Okay, you look at the 5-day, you look at the 1 day. Oh, it looks a little better than it has. All right, you go back 1 month. Yeah, they're kind of steady there. What tells the actual story is this 5-year trend where even that little bump that they got when the game released, whether the game had any effect on the stock market, positive or negative, is negligible. It could be, it's debatable how much effect it could even have. 5-year trend, this one game's success or failure is not going to be the thing that destroys Ubisoft. Ubisoft's already destroyed itself. So even positive press trying to spin a narrative that this game was a success isn't making the stock come back and skyrocket, okay? Ubisoft's in a world of hurt. And what I find even more fascinating is now we have just a few days after Assassin's Creed Shadows launched, again, an Assassin's Creed game that leans more heavily into like an RPG-light experience, We have another action RPG that has come out that I truly believe could just kick the crap out of Assassin's Creed Shadows and, dethrone it very, very quickly, not just on Steam charts, but on total sales alone. I think this game could crush Assassin's Creed Shadows. I truly believe that in total sales. So it's the first Berserker Khazan, a game that I actually played last night on stream. It's very good. It's more difficult than Shadows, obviously. It's more of like a Souls-like type game. But here's where you kind of get into some of the numbers, and this is why the numbers matter, okay? Right now, 89% positive reviews on 1,000 reviews. That means over 1,000 people have purchased this game in early access like I did. That's a lot of people, but sure, it's not millions. It's just a few thousand, however many people have actually left reviews. I haven't left a review yet, so, that's something. But then you compare some other stuff. The Khazan demo currently has about 2,600 people in the 24-hour peak who played the demo, and it's got an 86% positive review rate. Again, people are generally interested in this game enough to check out the demo. Here's another story, though. In the top current global sales charts on Steam, you got one Counter-Strike 2, Schedule 1, which is, again, a cheaper game. It's like a drug-making game, I guess, sitting at number 2. Repo is a multiplayer game. And sitting at number 4 is First Berserker Khazan, 2 spots ahead of Assassin's Creed Shadows at number 6. So while I don't remember how many spots Assassin's Creed Shadows jumped up to, I know they were number 1 in sales at one point, I do believe. Once the initial media blitz and all the hype around this game kind of died down, it quickly is now dropping down the sales chart, which means people aren't currently buying it. Again, sales charts only indicate people spending money like over a certain peak. But here's another thing, another story that's being told through the numbers. And again, we don't have the player count for Khazan yet, but when we do, it could be massive. So I said earlier today, Ubisoft still hasn't released sales numbers for Assassin's Creed Shadows, despite claiming they have 2 million players. The media has helped spin a narrative that this game is a massive success. Despite this, the first Berserker Khazan has already dethroned Assassin's Creed on SteamDB for top sales. Now you see this right here. Not only does Khazan sit at number 4 in top sellers ahead of Shadows at number 6, but it's kicking Shadows' ass in multiple stats such as viewers watching on Twitch, positive reviews, etc. Once we have total player numbers, once the game releases in full, Khazan could easily bury Shadows. I'm not even joking. If you base it alone on just these stats for Khazan versus Shadows, it's ahead of it in top sellers. It's almost up to the same number of followers on Steam. It has a better percentage of positive reviews, and it has way more people currently watching on a 24-hour peak. And when I screenshotted this earlier today, just total people watching the game on Twitch. People are generally interested in this game far beyond what they are with Assassin's Creed Shadows. There's no doubt in my mind that if this game gains traction on social media from people playing it, people talking about it, people watching it on streams, that it could do incredible numbers. And again, I thought the game was great. I was playing it last night. I'm still got a ways to go, obviously. I got to get better at it. If you were planning on picking up the game, use my link for instant gaming, save you some money. Description down below. But again, you can pick up whatever game you want. I'm not telling you to buy the game. I'm just saying the game's damn good so far from what I've played. So I'll be very curious to see how this all shakes out. Let me know what you think down in the comments below, and I will catch you guys on the next one. Alright, and if you made it this far, thank you so much for watching the video. Thank you for being here. I do have 2 channels, Minimal Effort Podcast, as well as my gaming channel. I do have a Twitch and Kick for my gaming channel. We do live streams over there occasionally, maybe once a week. And then if you are in the market for a new PC, make sure to check out Meta PCs. Click the link I have down below. Use code TBO at checkout for a special discount. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time.